Madam, Singapore's Golden Jubilee is an opportunity for us to celebrate and pay tribute to Singaporeans for their role in nation building, starting with the sheer determination of our pioneers to the continued dynamism of the generations after them. We have made Singapore a nation of opportunity for all. The Malay Muslim community is a part of Singapore's success story. Over the years, we have seen successful individuals in diverse areas such as the arts, sports, business, life sciences, creative media, and social enterprise, social entrepreneurship. Each successive generation has continued to excel and do better. The percentage of our primary one cohort admitted to post-secondary institutions has increased from under 80% to about 90% in the last 10 years, a good reflection of the hard work put in by our parents and students, as well as the support provided by our government and the community. Recipients of the Mendaki Awards, which celebrate excellence in both academic and non-academic disciplines, have increased steadily, with 683 receiving awards in 2014, up from 507 in 2012. With steady improvement in our educational qualification, it is no surprise that medium income and the proportion of PMETs in our community has also been on a steady rise. The emerging talent base of our community reflects both the depth and potential of talent within our community. Our perseverance and our ability to adapt to the needs and the demands of a modern city-state have put us to where we are today. So guided by these values, I'm confident that we shall overcome whatever challenges come our way and do even better in the years ahead. Madam, the foundation of our community's progress is in education, and it should continue to be our focus going forward. Many national schemes over the years have supported our students' educational journey, and this includes MOE's financial assistance schemes for students from low-income families, enhanced bursaries for studies at the Institutes of Higher Learning, and top-ups to EduSafe and post-secondary education accounts for learning opportunities beyond the classroom. So I'm happy that the recent Budget 2015 announcements have further strengthened many of these schemes to benefit our students. Mendaki has been a key community partner in ensuring that our children receive the best educational support at all levels. So I'm happy to share that over 14,200 students benefited from the Tertiary Tuition Fee Subsidy, or TTFS scheme, in 2014, up from about 12,000 in 2013, and this is largely due to two factors. First, we obtained the government's approval to revise the eligibility criteria in 2012. As a result, more students now qualify. Second, in the past 2 years, with the government's permission, we've extended TTFS to students pursuing studies at LaSalle College of the Arts, NAFA, Yale NUS College, NTU Lee Kuan Yew School of Medicine, and SIM University. Any remaining funds are channeled to the Education Development Fund for further education-based financial assistance and scholarships. Mendaki has recently completed a holistic review of its education initiatives. The findings by the Mendaki Education Review Committee will guide Mendaki's multi-pronged efforts for the next few years, including enhancing tutor development and improving parent education programs. Indeed, the committee's recommendations have inspired and will help shape some of the educational initiatives that I'll be touching on next. Associate Professor Muhammad Faisal Ibrahim asked about Mendaki's flagship tuition scheme, or MTS. Student participation in the scheme has grown steadily from under 6,500 students in 2005 to close to 10,000 students in 2014, spread across 50 centers island-wide. To ensure effectiveness, Mendaki conducts regular reviews and feedback sessions, all of which have led to improvements in areas such as the student-teacher ratio, tutor training, and student motivation. So for instance, the last review last year saw the student-teacher ratio reduced for students in primary 6, secondary 4 and 5 from 1 to 16 to 1:8, and even lower to 1:4 during their critical national examination periods. Following the students' feedback, Mendaki also organized a study skills workshop for secondary 3, 4, and 5 students to share tips on effective study habits. For the year ahead, Mendaki will increase accessibility for its students by expanding its MTS centers to 6 mosques. Mendaki is also looking to pilot mentoring at MTS for 150 lower secondary students at 4 centers, where they will be exposed to learning and character development activities. Other secondary school students will also stand to benefit with more Mendaki homework cafes for supervised homework sessions and peer tutoring. Started in 2013 with only 2 centers, there are now 15 cafes spread across the island. Beyond the school setting, this year's budget highlighted lifelong learning as a central theme to invest in our future, from preschool all the way to working life. Dr. Intan asked if there were more initiatives in the works to help parents in their children's development, particularly their primary 1 readiness. Currently at the preschool level, we already have successful programs like Cahaya M for experiential learning, Manju Mida Mathematic for strengthening numeracy skills, and Keluarga Baca Bersama for reading. Mendaki also collaborates with the National Library Board on its popular reading programs like Kids Read and Jiggle and Rhyme. This year, Mendaki has a number of new initiatives to provide more help to our parents. First, an easy-to-read toolkit for parents will be launched, containing tips, especially for first-time parents, on appropriate activities for their children at each key developmental stage. Second, Mendaki will start Literacy at Home, a program to provide parents with guidance on encouraging and improving literacy at home. Dr. Fatimah Latif asked about our mosque kindergartens. We have 18 such kindergartens with an enrollment of about 2,600 children. MUIS and the mosque continuously improve the quality of preschool education through teacher training and utilizing various national support schemes provided by ECDA. For example, some mosque kindergartens have tapped on the Preschool Opportunity Fund, which supports programs benefiting children from low-income families. This year, MUIS together with Mendaki will also study on how to further strengthen our mosque kindergartens so that our children will receive more support and resources. Dr. Fatimah also asked about training for working adults. Since the training arm for Mendaki has empowered over 30,000 individuals in the last few years through its range of training, job matching, and referral services. Given its reach to the community, SENS will work closely with WDA to facilitate the community's adoption of WDA's upcoming individual learning portfolio, which can help plan one's training and learning needs. With greater support through the Skills Future initiative, I'm confident that we can better equip ourselves to compete in a dynamic economic environment. To guide us in this endeavor, Mendaki is designing some programs to tap on the schemes under Skills Future. So I urge our community to participate wholeheartedly when these opportunities are ready. Madam, as we nurture our young for the future, we've also been strengthening the core of our community, our families. We have seen good progress, for instance. Divorce rates and minor marriages have been on a steady decline. Through the Cinta Abadi Marriage Preparation Program, soon-to-wed couples are guided on how to build marriages for the long term, such as in developing a consultative and collaborative approach and in managing conflict and differences. To ensure that it continues to meet the needs of couples, the Ministry of Social and Family Development, or MSF, will work with marriage educators to enhance the program, including in course facilitation and delivery. Support for marriages should not stop at the pre-marriage stage. I shared last year that MSF's Inspirasi Hubs piloted a marriage enrichment program for minor couples called Keluarga GEMS, and GEMS mean growing every marriage towards success, to provide guidance and support to those who have been married for more than 5 years. With valuable feedback gathered from the pilot, we roll out the program proper in November 2014. Topics range from rejuvenating the marital relationship to successful parenting. This year, MSF will develop a structured Cita Abadi enrichment framework targeted at Malay-Muslim couples in their first 10 years of marriage. PPIS Vista Sakina will also be enhancing their step parenting and marriage enrichment framework for remarriages. Our goal is for all couples to be better prepared as they go through various phases of their marriage, including being a parent. While we do our best to strengthen marriages and families, not all marriages last the distance, but many can be saved, and we want to be there to help. In this regard, I'm heartened that the Sharia Court's Marriage Counselling Program, or MCP, has been doing good work at facilitating reconciliation between couples. The MCP is in fact over and beyond what Sharia Court is set out to do, to settle divorces amicably and deliver just outcome. Yet, it reflects the commitment of the Sharia Court, like the rest of our Malay Muslim organizations, to improve constantly to serve the needs of our community. Under this program, Sharia Court has been working with 15 agencies, such as the Malay Muslim Organization and the Family Service Centers, to provide counseling to over 27,000 couples since 2004. More than 40% of these decided to remain married. The central pillar of the MCP is its committed counselors who seek to provide a safe space for couples to discuss marital issues. So one pioneering counselor that we see on the screen is Mizalia Ahmad. She started out as a marriage counselor to minor couples in 1997 and later joined the MCP when it was launched in 2004. What keeps her high-spirited even after 18 years of counseling, is to see couples reconcile and, more importantly, to protect the interests of children. Indeed, children were the topmost on our minds last year when we announced plans to strengthen protection for children in the divorce process. This was because close to 65% of divorces each year involve couples with children aged 18 years and below. Starting this year, couples with children under 14 years are required to discuss and subsequently submit a post-divorce co-parenting and care arrangement plan. This requirement will be extended to couples with children up to 18 years from 2017 onwards. So going forward, Sharia Court will be collaborating with various agencies to provide more social support services and resources for our couples. For example, starting April this year, PPIS As-Salam Family Support Center will be conducting briefings at the Sharia Court to help parents understand the impact of divorce on their children, learn cooperative co-parenting skills, and inform them of the national resources available. One crucial factor for strong, resilient families is prudent financial planning, as highlighted by Mr. Zainuddin Nordin. This is something that all families must pay careful attention to because poor budget can affect everyone in the family. Our marriage preparatory and enrichment courses do cover the importance of financial planning. Mendaki's program Bijak Belanja, introduced in 2008, has helped close to 3,000 participants annually on budget management. On downstream measures, AMP's Debt Advisory Center has been active in providing advice for those in debt. We want to help families more and want to start early. So in this regard, Mendaki will be working with our National Financial Education Program, Money Sense, on more upstream measures. And this includes expanding Mendaki's financial toolkit for young couples to cover more comprehensively topics such as CPF Life and retirement planning, Medishield Life, housing loans, and vigilance against scams. They will also provide the Malay Muslim organizations with relevant money management know-how and skills training so that these organizations can in turn better guide their own clients. Madam, we remain committed to help those who are in need. We will strengthen our social safety nets to help lower income and vulnerable groups. Our MMOs are key partner in this endeavor. Many have been tirelessly serving the community for decades and continue to work together with us to ensure that no one gets left behind. Other than the Muslim organizations, our institutions have also grown in their capacity to serve the evolving needs of our community. We have MUIS, which started out as a humble outfit of only 7 persons. Today, MUIS has grown to an organization of over 150 persons, overseeing a range of matters from mosques and wakafs to pilgrimage, halal certification services, religious education, and financial assistance. So you may so recall how Mendaki expanded its scope in 1989 to go beyond helping the community in education to include tackling socio-economic issues. SENSE was thus established to serve the community's upskilling and employment needs. Madam, the Community Leaders Forum, or CLF, was envisioned to rally partners to design and drive innovative programs to help our community. Recognizing the good work of our partners, we launched the $1.2 million Capability Development Fund in September 2014 to better support our MMOs in strengthening governance, enhancing capabilities, and grooming talent. Mr. Zana Sapari asked for examples of the utilization of this grant. Apart from the 2 capability building seminars held for our MMOs, 5 MMOs participated in the CLF's Training Needs Analysis Program to identify areas of improvement. Some have also come forward with their own development plans. Let me cite 2 examples. One is PPIS Project Aura, a research project on issues affecting Muslim women. The aim of this study is to research and develop evidence-based support systems and frameworks to enhance the respective expertise of PPIS welfare counselors. PPIS has engaged over 120 female participants from various sectors for their views. In another example, Pergas is working with the CLF to identify suitable leadership training courses to enhance their organizational capabilities, including in areas such as strategic planning and governance. MMOs has also been able to tap on the Malay Muslim Community Development Fund, or MMCDF, to fund their community initiative. So in 2014, we disbursed $4 million for various projects, including AMP's One-Stop Debt Advisory Center, Ain Society's Serenity Family Care Program to help cancer patients, and the Singapore-Malay Chamber of Commerce and Industry's Protege Kita Mentorship Program for young Malay Muslim entrepreneurs. So I look forward to more MMOs tapping on these funds so that the community can be better served. Mr. Zana Sapari asked about Zakat Management. Madam, the culture of giving is what makes us strong and what brings us together as a community. More have started donating electronically through eNets, AidAccess, OCBC, and CIMB direct credit, and soon they will be able to give through DBS ATMs and iBanking. So I'm proud to share that Zakat collection increased from almost $22.8 million in 2010 to about $32 million at the end of 2014, as you can see in the chart. This healthy collection allowed MUIS to not only extend Zakat support to more than 5,432 Zakat recipients in 2014, but to also enhance our eligibility criteria. As a result, from this year on, the community will be able to help 1,000 more recipients through Zakat. As the trusted guardian of community funds, MUIS must be a responsible institution and must cater for a reasonable reserve to buffer against shortfalls and unforeseen situations. If it does not do so, the needs and the well-being of the community would be placed at risk, in particular in tough times when spare funds are in short supply all around. Madam, our mosques are our partners in Zakat disbursement, and it is through their efforts that we can offer assistance to the needy effectively. Last year, we saw the launch of Nadi Hikmat by Mendaki, MUIS, and 6 mosques to bring social assistance to the community and to connect them to the wider ecosystem of national programs and agencies such as the family service centers and the social service offices. We have received positive feedback from the community as the centers help streamline the referral process and also made information on the various community and national assistance schemes more easily available. So I'm happy to share with Mr. Zainuddin Nordin that the centers have been active in building their community networks and bringing on board more partners. So for example, at Jamia Arabita Mosque, which is in Delta, the officers working with Sharia Court to ensure that eligible families undergo divorce proceedings continue to receive Mendaki Social Assistance Scheme. Meanwhile, at Al-Mutakim Mosque in Amokyo, Mendaki worked with the Toa Payoh East Citizens Consultative Committee and MindChamp Singapore to nominate students for the Miss Kamili Scholarship, where recipients will be able to attend a range of enrichment programs under MindChamps. So we will continue to enhance the effectiveness of these centers and with a view to expand the service to more locations if necessary. But in the meantime, to better reflect the coordinating role of Mendaki and in recognition of the pioneer centers in both Pasir Ris and Woodlands, all Nadi Hikmat centers will henceforth adopt the Mendaki at Heartlands brand name. It is worth noting that other agencies are also leveraging on our mosques to bring their programs to the ground. So this year, NTUC's UCare Center will pilot an initiative with Al Mu'minin Mosque in Jurong East to outreach to low-wage workers in the neighborhood on workfare, training schemes, and their employment rights. We thank Mr. Zainal Sapari for that scheme. Madam, our key institutions and partners have done well, and we will continue to strengthen partnerships and enhance our service delivery to ensure that deserving individuals get the help they need. Next, Madam, let me touch on our efforts to nurture a progressive Muslim community. Our mosques are a central focal point in our community's religious life. We are committed to ensure that our mosques provide a safe and nurturing space conducive to worship and religious education. Mr. Hawazi requested an update on the progress of our mosque building. With the strong support of the community, especially with the inception of the Mosque Building Fund in 1975, MUIS has built 23 new generation mosques and upgraded 39. And in the just past 6 years, 9 mosques were upgraded, 5 more are in line later this year, and with just the MBF alone, we would have added 87,300 prayer spaces by the end of this year, as you can see on the chart. So I'm glad our plans are on track. Al-Islam Mosque in Punggol will be open in time for residents to celebrate Ramadan and Hari Raya this year. In recent months, we witnessed the groundbreaking ceremonies of Ma'ruf Mosque in Jurong West and, of course, the Yusof Ishak Mosque in Woodlands, as mentioned by Mr. Hawazi. So I applaud the mosque building committees of both Ma'ruf Mosque and Yusof Ishak Mosque for raising approximately $2 million each and commend the community for their strong support in a very short time. These 3 mosques will add close to 13,000 prayer spaces nationwide when completed. But we recognize that some mosques still face overcrowding issues on Fridays. So to meet strong localized demand in the East, more prayer spaces will be made available from 2015 and beyond. The Al-Ansar Mosque in Bedok is due to be reopened in April with a capacity of 4,500 spaces, 1,000 more from the original mosque. As you can see from the screen, it's a nice, beautiful looking mosque. We can also look forward to the major upgrading of Darul Ghurfan Mosque in Tampines in 2016 with 1,000 more prayer spaces and expanded Islamic learning facilities. The Al-Istighfar Mosque in Pasir Ris, we will work with our agencies to firm out technical details and intensify whatever available space that we have. More will be shared in due course. But meanwhile, with Tampines North being built up as a major residential town, I'm pleased to announce that we will also be building a new mosque there. This mosque will also be able to serve new residents in Tampines North and the neighboring Pasir Ris, as well as industrial estates in both areas. The timing for the mosque development will be planned to meet both the growth in resident population there and prayer spaces in the area. Madam, as we enhance the hardware of all the physical infrastructure of our mosques, we also need to ensure that the software of our religious life is strengthened. Dr. Intan asked for an update and future plans for the madrasah. We have come a long way since 2007 when we first mooted the idea of a single madrasah system for all 6 madrasahs to consolidate resources, offer an integrated curriculum, and provide educational pathways for our madrasah students. MUIS's commitment to support our madrasahs has been unwavering. For example, MUIS disbursed $194,000 to the 6 madrasahs from Waqaf Ilmu in 2014 and provided $2.3 million in grants to needy madrasah students through promas between 2010 and 2014. MUIS also supports the madrasah so that its students can benefit from the EduSafe disbursements. The Minister for Education has recently announced that MOE will waive fees for national examinations for Singapore citizen students in government-funded schools starting this year, and that the specific respective agencies will consider the treatment for other schools where necessary. Hence, I would like to share that the Ministry of Community, Culture and Youth, or MCCY, will assist MUIS so that madrasah students will also need not pay these fees. Currently, 3 madrasahs, Irshad, Al-Junaid, Arabia, have come together under a single system. 2015 is a key milestone for these 3 madrasahs as the first batch of students who have undergone 6 years of primary education under this system have been posted to Madrasah Al-Junaid and Madrasah Al-Arabia following the release of their PSLE results last year. One such student is Sukaina binti Sulaiman, who scored an aggregate score of 264 for her PSLE and scored straight A's or A stars for the Islamic Student Placement Examination. Despite being eligible for top national school, she has chosen to pursue her studies in Madrasah Al-Junaid. Sukaina is keen to deepen her knowledge in Islamic studies as she hopes to contribute to the intellectual and spiritual development of the community in future. Madam, this is a good example of how our consolidated madrasah system nurtures our young and enables them to pursue areas where they have a strong interest. Apart from full-time madrasah education, MUIS has also been working hard to strengthen the part-time Islamic education. The Alive program, targeted at children aged 7 to 16 years old, has grown from an enrollment of 1,800 students in 2005 to over 16,000 in 2014. Plans are in place to cater for a 12% increase in enrollment spaces within the next year. MUIS has been regularly reviewing the Alive format and curriculum to make it more attractive and relevant. The latest update to the program will be rolled out in the first half of this year. In addition, MUIS disbursed about $1 million under its Islamic Education Fund to help 2,800 students from low-income families attend religious classes in 2014. In light of the increasing demand for adult Islamic learning classes, or ADIL, MUIS has increased the number of participating mosques to 13. MUIS has also expanded ADIL's programs with 3 new intermediate modules and 8 more later this year. As of November 2014, I'm happy to note that about 2,300 participants have signed up for the ADIL classes. Madam, the Office of the Mufti is committed to developing more modules that help put current issues into perspective while at the same time shedding light on common perceptions or misinterpretations of Islam. Madam, as we reflect upon our efforts in nation building over the past 50 years, we recognize that the world and the society we live in is becoming more complex and diverse. How we deal with differences will determine the resilience of the community and the social fabric of our nation. And I agree with Mr. Zaki that our young play a very important role in this regard. So I'm therefore very heartened to see many of our young stepping forward, spreading the ethos of the Rahmatan lil Alamin, blessings for all, through acts of kindness and graciousness. So we hear the story of Mr. Mohsin Rashid and Mr. Khairul Rijal, who with their Majulah community rallied several organizations and individuals to collect food items and basic medical supplies for flood victims in the east coast of Malaysia. Together, they delivered 16 tons of food relief to flood victims and helped with the post-disaster cleanup, including the setting up of relief shelters as well as energy and clean water supplies. Another example, Mr. Muhammad Saiful Muhammad Anwar. Starting out as a docent in the Harmony Center, he recently organized Singapore's first interfaith youth leadership training called Ignite Faiths. Ignite Faiths provide a platform to connect young community activists and faith-based leaders, as well as to encourage them to organize their own interfaith projects with funding and mentoring support. Saiful hopes that his efforts could become a springboard for greater interfaith engagement and interaction, and in so doing, build our social cohesion. Madam, such ground-up social movements to galvanize the community towards worthwhile causes show the desire of our young to serve and to help, regardless of race or religion. This energy and passion among our youth gives me confidence in our community's future. The SG50 Kita Committee has also been hard at work in planning for the SG50 celebrations with the theme of caring, sharing, and giving. The committee seeks to strengthen the spirit of togetherness in our society and be of service to all. This weekend, the committee will be holding the first SG50 Kita X workshop. X is for people below 35, so I'm excluded. Over the next few months, about 150 youths from all races will take part in a series of futures and visioning with the aim of developing programs with a long-term impact. Another key SG50 Kita initiative is the Service to the Nation Week in the month of Ramadan, this June, to help and spread goodwill among all Singaporeans. Later in August, the committee, together with community organizations, will also host a National Day observance ceremony for Singaporeans from all races and faiths to join in the festivities. So one National Day observance by the community. So we can look forward to a good time amidst a carnival atmosphere with good food and fun-filled kampong games. Madam, as a community, our aspirations, hopes and dreams are no different from all our fellow Singaporeans. We must take pride in what we have achieved in the past 50 years. Singapore is where we belong. Singapore is where we have our roots and where we call home. Singapore is where our future will be. So let us continue to work with our fellow Singaporeans to forge a greater future together. Allow me now to conclude my speech in Malay.
In my English speech earlier, I presented various initiatives that form the strategies of our institutions to continue to enhance support for the Malay Muslim community in line with our current and future needs. In education, Mendaki will be playing an even greater role to provide solid support and provide education opportunities for all ages. This includes students in preschool as well as upgrading opportunities for workers, particularly through the Skills Future initiative. We will also be enhancing efforts to strengthen the institution of family in the Malay Muslim community. The Ministry of Social and Family Development, for instance, will be multiplying support programs for couples, including those in the first 10 years of marriage. In our effort to form a progressive and graceful Malay Muslim community, MUIS is also actively continuing the implementation of development plans of new mosques as well as upgrading programs for old mosques. Recently, we saw the groundbreaking ceremony of Ma'ruf and Yusuf Ishaq mosques, and soon the Al-Islam Mosque in Punggol and Al-Ansar Mosque will be completed, and next year the redevelopment of Darul Ghufran Mosque will begin. This means praying area and spaces for Islamic education will be increased. And to cater to the needs of a growing population of worshippers in the East, I'm pleased to announce that a new mosque will be built in the new estate, Tampines North. Mosque institutions such as MUIS, Mendaki, the Sharia Court, and the Registry of Muslim Marriages, as well as Malay Muslim organizations, have been playing an important role to prepare our community to face new challenges. These efforts will mutually complement national programs to provide all kinds of opportunities to hone the talents and potential of all Singaporeans, including our Madrasah students. Recently, the Ministry of Education announced that Singapore citizen students in government schools will no longer need to pay examination fees at national level. I am pleased to announce that the Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth, MCCY, is prepared to assist MUIS so that our Madrasah students too will no longer need to pay those fees. Madam Speaker, the call that MUIS disburse and spend all of the Zakat funds each year is not an appropriate measure. MUIS is responsible for ensuring the needs of all the categories of the Zakat to be met now and for the future. We need to be prepared to face all kinds of possibilities, and it's not appropriate to carry out planning based on a hand-to-mouth concept. The Zakat funds can be set aside for future use of these categories of the Zakat categories by taking care of the religious development needs of the community as approved by eminent clerics of the world. This principle is also applied by a number of local clerics who are members of the Zakat and Fitrah Committee to assist MUIS in carrying out Zakat management as best as possible. Madam Speaker, for the past 5 decades, our community has experienced and witnessed a number of developments and strong progress in various fields, in many fields. This achievement is continuing. The positive development of the Malay Muslim community, which I have just shared, give us the confidence that clearly the Malay Muslim pioneers have made the right choice to remain in Singapore 50 years ago. This is a strong foundation on the principle of you belong, to show your loyalty to where you live. Our progress today is as a result of the loyalty and love for the nation that is shown by the Malay Muslim families. We are fortunate because our pioneers have worked hard together with other Singaporeans and the government. They were not easily shaken by promises and rumors that tried to intimidate them about the future of Singapore. Although we are a minority, we are fully supportive of the national aspirations. We adjust ourselves when Singapore was undergoing urbanization. We also strengthened our religious institutions so that it's in line with the developments of the modern world. We use English as our language of communication while preserving the beauty of our mother tongue, Malay. We enhance the development of the achievement of children by bringing the whole family together and our resources, and the result is we can enhance our progress. We are fully believe in a government which is committed to build the potential of every people, whatever their talent or interest. As the saying goes, we have consensus, if we should avoid any conflict. And in celebrating SG50, it is important for the community, particularly the young, not to forget of the values and the path that we have taken before success. Like our own parents, we must persevere and should not be influenced by calls in the past that the future will be dark for us. This is from those who are trying to bring breakup in our community, and if this is our choice, then our future will be bad. The reality is that the choice made by our pioneers 50 years ago has result in good fortune today. So let us maintain this path. Let us work hard to reap the new opportunities provided by the government. Let us work in concert with the community, with other communities in this beloved country, in order to build the future that we aspire to for ourselves, for our family, for our community, and the Singapore community in general, in line with our belief that identity is culture, family is our asset, and community is a heritage, and the nation is survival. Thank you.